Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah and I wanted to welcome all of you to another installment of Monologue Monday here on my YouTube channel.
Monologue Monday.
So in this quick episode of Monologue Monday, I wanted to share another reason why it's so important, at least for me, to be financially prepared and be able to make sure that I have a solid lump sum of money prior to having a kid. Now I know I've made quite a few videos on this channel already about why, when you should, when you shouldn't, finances and kids. I've covered it quite a bit, but I just wanted to add another reason that kind of dawned on me quite recently after watching the Olympics. So this reason as to why I think yet another reason to be financially prepared, and I'm not going to go into numbers or anything like that in this video here, just generally speaking, by the time, simply put, when you are having a kid or when you plan on doing it, and I know there are accidents that happen, it's a pretty big accident in my personal opinion, but I know they do happen. But by the time you are prepping to bring a new life into this world, why it's really, really important to have your finances figured out, have a lump sum put away, have this, have that all prepped out, is because, simply put, I think it's a good idea to be able to provide your kid with the opportunity to chase almost whatever endeavor that they want to. Now, I know this is pretty broad, and I know there's, probably some individuals out there already clicking off the video, but, the point that I'm trying to make here is that I think it's a very, very good idea to ensure that you give your child an opportunity to try as many endeavors as they basically want or they can. And obviously there's a limit on this, right? You can't just say, hey, you're going to be an astronaut, I bought you a rocket. But I mean the simple things, right? I mean being able to put them in, a bunch of different sports when they're younger to see what really makes them motivated, right? What gets them up in the morning to go run around with a team or run around on their own or to train. I think that's hugely important. And it just so happens that those types of endeavors cost a decent amount of money, right? But I think it's unfair. I think it's unfortunate when you're not able to, when kids don't get that opportunity, right? They just sit home, without experiencing that, right? They don't know what that camaraderie is. They don't know what being on a field is, or playing for an objective, or running around. I mean, I just really think that's unfortunate when kids don't get to have that experience. So that's just one aspect of why, making sure that you have the money to be able to do that for your kid prior to having one is so important. And of course, this goes beyond athletics. I think a big thing that the biggest reason was for the Olympics, right? Where it, all of the stories of how, parents, put their kids through, worked really, really hard. And I think a lot of the families that are part of the Olympic teams aren't billionaires, right? They're relatively normal people that just worked really, really hard to provide their kids with the opportunity to train and compete and so on. So that's kind of where my example came from originally. But for me personally right now, I'm noticing that my creative endeavors are really, really picking up, right? I'm doing the YouTube channel. I did AFA, which is a financial service that I've kind of stepped back from at this point. I'm doing, 3D design. I'm doing, I'm kind of designing a home that I want to build and so on. And there's other things as well. Woodworking is another thing that I've kind of been getting involved with on the side. And it just so happens, like athletics, that these types of endeavors, cost a little bit of money. Obviously, there are inexpensive ways to do them, but I want to be able to provide my kid, if I decide to have one, with the opportunity to do all this stuff, either with me or at a class or something like that. I think something that happens a lot, around the world is that people will have a kid. Maybe they're not quite ready for it financially or mentally, whatever it is, and the kid kind of just ends up sitting around, waiting, right? The parents are busy working, I know it's very common for parents to have multiple jobs, or, one parent has multiple jobs, both parents have multiple jobs just to be able to support the kid. And, that's admirable just in itself. But I think it's really good to be able to get kids involved and not only, academic sports stuff, like I mentioned earlier, but creative things, right? Being able to send them to camps to do all of the, yeah, I've never been to a camp, but I know they do like the arts and crafts, the archery, the hiking, the survival stuff, and other endeavors as well. Like I said, I'm doing YouTube right now, and I'm just thinking back to my early childhood where what would have been different had I been able to have a camera like I do right now when I was 10 years old, right? When I was 15 years old, where would I be in a different position? I'm not really sure. But now when I think about my own kids, I feel like it's something that I really need to shoot for. I need to be able to provide them with the opportunity to pursue the creative endeavors that I'm finally getting to do right now. And of course, I could go on and on and on all day about the different examples of what you can provide to your kid, what opportunities that you can provide to your children, assuming that you have a good financial standing, right? You've been responsible with your finances and so on. But I think I've made a decent point, hopefully, in this short episode of Monologue Monday. So there you have it. Those are just a few more of my thoughts as to why I think it's extremely, extremely important to make sure that you have your finances in check, right? You are on a plan. You've reached your goal to a certain extent prior to having a kid. And like I said, I know it is common where accidents happen, but you can always take precautionary measures to mitigate that risk. But as always, I want to hear from the viewers as well. What do you guys think of my personal opinions here? Do you think I have a decent amount of merit in my thoughts, or do you think I'm just completely out of touch? Please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And with all of that being said, if you've stuck along this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for your time. And as always, happy financing.